Hi everyone, welcome to your Techie Buddy. So today I'm going to solve a very common lead code interview question, which is the two sum. So the statement is given an array of integers num and an integer target. Return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. So let me explain you. So suppose we have an integer array here 2, 7, 11, 15, right? And the target is suppose 9. So you have to give the return the indices. Remember the index position of the numbers whose sum can be the sum of the input number. So suppose the target is 9 and the input array is 2, 7, 11, 5. So 2 and 7, if you sum up it will be 9, right? So what would be the resultant output? 0 comma 1, because 0 is the index position of 2 and 1 is the index position of 7, and when you sum up the values in these indices it will give you the target 9, right? So this is the problem which we are going to solve. So here I have just made the skeleton. So here this is my main method. I have taken an integer array. I have taken the target number, suppose 7 in for this one, and then we have to figure out, we have to return the indices. So the method I have used here is toSum, and it is taking the integer array as the input, the target number as the input, which is an integer, and the resultant is an integer array. Why array? Because we have to return two indices, right? 0 comma 1. So we have to return an integer array. So the return type is integer array. So now let's start coding this problem. So how we'll first what we'll do is, like, we have to return an integer array of the indices. That means we have to figure out the two numbers which would sum up to 7, and then we have to get the indices of those number. To do this we need two kind of storage, right? The number itself, suppose in this case we it would be the sum of 3 and 4 will give us the output, right? 7. So we have to first keep the track of the number and also the indices. So what the data structure which would help us to store these two things would be a map, right? In map we'll be able to store key and value. So now let me take a map first. Hash map. What would be the key here? Integer, and the type of the value is also integer. And let me name it as hm is equal to new hash map, right? This is the data structure which is going to aid us in doing this. Now what we'll do is, let's start. Obviously we need to iterate through the array once at least. So int I is equal to 0, the starting index, I less than the array size plus plus. That's it. So what we'll do is, what we want to do is, we have a target number, right? 7. So we want to figure out, okay, currently we are in suppose 0 index, we want to figure out the remaining part. So what we'll do is, suppose we'll take a integer delta, suppose the remaining amount, right? So what would be the remaining amount? The target, which the total, minus the current element, suppose nums of I, current element. Okay, so this is the delta, that means the remaining. Suppose the current element is 2, what would be the delta? 7 minus 2, 5, right? That would be the delta. Suppose if we are at the index position 1, what would be the delta? 7 minus 3, 4 is the delta. So this is the track, the delta track which we will keep. Okay, now we have to look up for this delta, right? So we have the hash map where we are going to keep the track of all the numbers we have visited. Okay, so suppose if we have visited the number, what we'll do is, if hm hashmap dot contains key, what? The delta, right? That means currently the current, suppose the current iteration I am pointing at 3 and the delta is 7 minus 3, 4. If 4 is already visited or it was already there in this and hm has this, then we have to do certain things, right? That means we have found it, so we'll return the indices. If not, every time we are visiting a new thing which is not added, we have to put it, right? So what we'll do, hm dot put what? The current value which we just newly visited, right? So that value will be the key in the map and we want to return the indices, right? So I will store the index value. So if it has not been visited, then we'll put it for the first time in the hash map. But if the delta is already visited and we have that in the hash map, what we'll do is we'll return new integer array. What would be the two indices which we want to return? The current index, comma, the index of the delta, right? Because it is already there in the map. So if you do hm.get delta, that means it will give you the index, because this hm will have the delta as the key and the index as the value, right? So now if all of these goes through and we don't find anything, that means we'll return new int, like negative -1. You can ask the interviewer what they want you to return, or in the lead code solution, whatever the expected output, if nothing hits, right? So this is the problem statement. So now when we run with the two sum, we pass this array 2 3 7 4 8, and the target is suppose 7. What it should return to us, 3 and 4 are the index which we add and we get the sum 7, right? So it should return to us 1 and 3. Now let's run this. Yes, so 3 and 1 are the indices of which you sum and you will get the result as 7. For more such videos, please subscribe to Your Techie Buddy, or any such coding interview question which you want the solution, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much.